Hello everyone and welcome to Batman Arkham Asylum with me, the Sprite.
Me, the Doctor.
You didn't even sound like Batman.
I sounded like weird, like, what's he called? Right, should we just try that again?
That guy.
Fucking Christ.
Try that again.
Try that again, he says.
Oh no, I'm keeping that in.
Oh, for fuck's sake. With me, the Doctor.
And me, the Bard. Whilst we were off camera viewship, we discovered that like Batman can do a thing that we didn't think he could do. So like, watch this.
What, like bend his body?
No. Watch. Do it. Follow the Batarang. Follow the Batarang. Follow the Batarang. Still going. Still going. Still going.
Please tell me it hits the moon.
Still going. Still going. Look at the arm on this guy. The throwing arm. Like, you know.
I always figured the Batarang just had some kind of like, you know, you get those weird like cylinder things that you throw and they like fucking lift off.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of those, so it has its own like lift generating things, or it can even have like a tiny.
It just doesn't seem to stop. Like, look at the biceps on this man. Like, it's good to know if the crime fighting doesn't work out, Batman has a career as like a major league baseball pitcher.
Yeah.
Similar skills, I presume.
Yeah. But it's certainly the athleticism, right?
Yeah.
I say again, my brother-in-law, who is a cyclist, but he does some running, but did not train for a marathon, decided to run a marathon one morning and did it in 4 hours.
Which is very impressive, really.
And deciding to run a marathon one morning is insane as well.
Yeah, it really is. I hasten to add, he does a lot of cycling. Like, it's not completely insane, and he does do occasional 5Ks, but yeah, he just...
Yeah, but there's occasional 5Ks and there's a marathon that's about 40k.
Yeah.
42, actually. Oh, no.
There you go, yeah. Oh. I only know what it is in miles. I couldn't... So I just did a rough conversion.
So
it's 23 miles.
So there are some snipers up there who will ruin my day, and I'm not really sure how to get to them, so...
Yeah, it's the whole thing of how a marathon is basically essentially a fuck you because some ancient Greek guy ran 23 miles and then died, and to honour him, we all run a 23-mile thing and do not die at the end.
Do you know his sacrifice was almost completely in vain? So, like, he was running from Marathon to Sparta to try and get the Spartans to come and help the Athenians at the Battle of Marathon, right?
Yeah.
But he got to Sparta, and the Spartans were in the middle of a religious festival, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll totally come help you. We just got to deal with this religious festival first." And they didn't actually turn up in time to contribute anything to the Battle of Marathon.
I thought what I heard was it was after Marathon, the Persian fleet. Basically, the Persian
remnants.
army. Yeah, the Persian army was defeated, but their plan was basically to sail to Athens and tell the Athenians that they'd won.
Oh.
And so this guy ran over land. They were like, "Well, you can't get back into Athens in time to warn them that that's what's happening." But this guy's like, "I can fucking do it," and ran to Athens and then basically said, "We won. The Persian fleet is destroyed," and then fucking died.
So
did you grapple him in the knee?
So couldn't warn them that some of them were coming to be aggressive.
Oh, maybe I get the story wrong, or maybe it's one of these...
I think there's different versions.
Yeah, I don't. And none of them are necessarily, historical.
Yeah.
So now with my cool grappling hook, what I can do is pull this grate down.
Ah, what a great move!
Yeah.
And then climb up.
No one reacting to that at all. What a great move!
Oh,
there we go.
I think you cracked that joke already.
I did, and I'm going to do it every time, and it's going to be great whenever I do it.
Oh, Jesus.
You can't stop me, fuckers.
Yes, I can.
Just me and my boot full of tenants.
Jesus Christ. You're one laboratory explosion away from being an actual supervillain, aren't you?
No, he'd be a henchman.
Me? No. Okay, no, I'd be a high-up henchman.
No, you'd be a foot soldier henchman, dear.
Like a lieutenant, perhaps.
Yeah, I'd like that. You get to carry out some of the shit, but realistically, if you get caught by Batman, you can just kind of go, "It's not me, it's my boss." I don't know why I'm from New Jersey now, but there we go. I assume all Batman henchmen are basically from New Jersey.
They're all New Yorkers. I think people from New York would take offense to that, or maybe vice versa.
Yeah.
It's your pecan
the
voice
legs
coming out.
Yeah, he does a lot of leg snapping.
And then oh my god, he should pile those blokes on top of each other. Good god. Also, is this a church or something? What is this?
This is the old Arkham Manor. So this is where... Presumably this is where I've come to find Dr. Young and get some answers.
Yeah. Was she the red-haired one?
No, she was the other doctor. It turns out she's been the one doing the experiments with the venom.
Oh, she was the one who was in the room where you cracked into it on both sides with the stuff.
Precisely.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she was all like, I can't leave my research. My research is essential.
Yeah, so she was saying, like, Joker can't get his hands on it, yeah.
It turns out that spooky research was, Joker research. That bubbling was...
Sorry, I'm fine, yeah, I didn't twist. So with Das Boot, you got to twist it, otherwise an air bubble builds in the toe, and I didn't twist it quite enough while I was drinking it, and it did swamp gas a little bit. It's
a normal noise for you.
Harsh.
I'm assuming that, like, Batman doesn't drink. In fact, I think they reference it in The Dark Knight Returns. Like, Jim Gordon says to him, like, you had us all fooled, Bruce, sitting there at these cocktail receptions with your ginger ale.
Yeah. It's one of the big differences between him and Tony Stark, who definitely does drink.
Yeah, I mean, Tony's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Which they don't make a big enough thing out of in the MCU.
They flirted with it, but then they bailed on it, which is a shame. It could have actually been a remotely compelling story with Tony Stark, but there we go.
Oh, some fighting.
No, him being an absolute twat while dealing with his own guilt was apparently him getting a story arc.
Oh, yeah.
No, that was meant to be him being, like, good, and I'm like, what?
Next, by the way, on the list of times that Batman kills is the one you discussed earlier of John Paul Valley.
Oh yes, he's Azrael.
Yeah, and he goes as far as killing someone in the end, but then that's what stops him being Batman, because Bruce comes back being like, no, we don't do that.
I think he is like a kind of half Iron Man, half Batman bat suit. Like, he's got more gadgets than Bruce does, and he's younger and fitter and more handsome.
Yeah. But he finally broke Wayne's main rule by pushing and then letting the serial killer known as Abattoir fall to his death in a vat of molten steel.
Should have just killed Joker instead.
Yeah.
Net good for all humanity.
The 90s, where serial killers had names like Abattoir.
Yeah. There's also Flashpoint Batman who killed Reverse Flash in order to help Flash reboot the universe.
And that's Flashpoint Batman, doesn't count.
Convenient.
Perfect combo!
And then, top of the list, Batman fatally poisoned Darkseid by shooting him with a Radion bullet in Final Crisis.
That's kind of rad, actually. Because the breaking two of his rules, because he doesn't use guns either, because guns are tools of the fearful. Oh, more upgrades.
Right, fuck off with it. During the Final Crisis event, Darkseid threatened to take over the world with the anti-life equation.
Yeah, so like...
Fuck's sake. And people say comic stuff is dumb.
Oh, it's very dumb. Like, Darkseid's kind of scary. How can I throw the Batman?
He wasn't in Justice League, I'll put it that way.
No, he was not.
Nor in Justice League, the Snyder Cut, which was worse.
Let me see.
If only because it insisted on a 4:3 aspect.
I have a fan question for you both.
Sure.
I assume, Bard, you will have heard this. Doctor, I'm not sure. There is a little meme/fan joke, which is, after one of the various end of the universe things, Batman has to choose to kill his parents in order to make sure that everyone can survive. So he has to go back and be the one to kill his parents.
Oh.
And he then starts laughing to himself, saying, well, you've got to laugh. And he starts laughing a bit more, and he basically rattles off one of Joker's famous lines. And the implied thing is, in this meme thing, that the fact of having to do that, knowing that he has to be the one to do that, to kill his parents in order to make sure that the universe can survive, turns him into Joker, and that's why Joker never gets a true origin story, and that's why they're
the Joker is Batman who's done it all and been like teleported back to the beginning and killed his parents, and
has to go through all of that, and
the Joker is like the pre-broken Batman.
I think that's it's just the Burton movies that make Joker the killer of Batman's parents. I think in the comic books it's usually Joe Chill.
Oh yeah, I'm not suggesting.
It's a fan thing.
Yeah,
it's a fan thing that's literally about. That's why they are the same person.
It's literally
the same man.
Bruce that's gone through all of that, and it's broken him.
It's dealing with the humanization of the Joker, because the Joker's this really great allegory for horrible behavior, completely unpredictable, irrational cruelty, and all this, that, and the other. And it's a way of dealing with sometimes what you deal with does turn you into a monster.
He's undoubtedly
and it's and how Batman is always kind of on the verge of that. Hence why his no-killing rule is so important, because he's right on the fucking line sometimes.
But that's the thing: if you're so extreme one way and you break it, you become extreme the other and just kill ruthless.
If you break bad.
Yeah, and it's just I like it as ridiculous little fan theory.
Yeah.
He's undoubtedly, like, Joker is the greatest comic book villain of all time. Like, he has to be.
I think you're missing out one Clayface.
It's also interesting that, yeah, he's probably the most significant, like, comic book character, villain or hero, who doesn't really have a traditional, canonically established backstory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they ever establish why Hannibal Lecter wants to kill people? I don't think so, except in that shit film that we don't talk about.
Also not a comic book character, so there we go.
Just
I'm not saying he's the greatest villain of all time, but certainly comic book character-wise, he's up there. And certainly, like, there's a line, I think, in the Alan Moore's The Killing Joke, where Joker says, if I had a past, I would prefer that it was multiple choice, implying that either he just reinvents his backstory or Joker himself doesn't know.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, everyone knows, you know, Batman, dead parents, Spider-Man, radioactive spider, and dead uncle, all of those things. But to say how widespread the Joker is in, like, a cultural consciousness, it's interesting that he doesn't have a, oh, everyone knows this is the origin of the Joker. He just doesn't have one.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like
several,
that.
but I like
Yeah,
that.
he doesn't have one clear, everyone knows this canonically, oh, we're going to get him, see him, you know, go into the clown waste or whatever. It's like, yeah, that's always kind of there, but...
Whilst I'm going to the records office, could someone fetch me another cider, please?
Right.
Oh god, okay.
Alright, am I attaching your previous one to your staff?
If you would please, good doctor.
Yep. There's a new headpiece
I remember
for the
this.
staff of Ra.
I remember this stealth mission being quite challenging because they have hostages, and now if we draw our attention to these guys, they have like these weird suicide.
Which means, yeah, well, I was briefly reading that, so if their heart rate drops too low or too high, it just does them in.
Yeah, Joker knows. He controls the callers now, so he knows when they start to die, and he tells the rest of them what's happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't pay you for your smarts, do I? I pay you to stop the bat. So don't disappoint me.
Dum dum.
Yeah, that's a bit of that kind of bwap, bwap, is very Hans Zimmer's Dark Knight score.
Is that Hans Zimmer who does Dark Knight?
Yeah.
I know he collaborates with Nolan quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's, yeah, the use of low brass is extremely Hans Zimmer in those.
Is that why you like him?
Harsh.
He gets all the gigs that John Williams doesn't get, basically.
Yeah, John Williams does the high brass. Hence, you know, your Jurassic Parks and your Star Wars. Wah, ba, 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 is all very, like almost like trumpety fanfare is John Williams' thing.
See, they've started using trickier tactics. Look at those guys who are like running around back to back.
How sneaky.
While we're briefly on the topic of John Williams, I can give my favourite story about him, which was when he was asked to compose the music for Schindler's List, and Spielberg takes him aside and like shows him like a draft cut of the film, and John Williams is moved to tears at the end. And this is a true story. Moved to tears and says, "Stephen, you'll need a better composer than me to score that film." And Spielberg replies, "Yeah, I know, but they're all dead." Which is pretty funny.
Did John
Williams did do the score, yeah.
And we're back, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, we should be fine.
Right, here we go.
Oh.
Come here. That's the
Yeah,
end
so
of you.
fun fact, John Williams did Harry Potter and he did Schindler's List, and their main themes are basically the same.
Yeah.
Schindler's List is da 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 da, and Harry Potter is ba 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 ba. Then he just adds swing to Schindler's List and makes it Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter.
Maybe he foresaw the transphobia.
Maybe it all takes place in, you know, the Schindlerverse is actually where Harry Potter also is.
Yeah.
The reason Wizards hide is because everyone is a Nazi in the real world.
No, only.
And in fairness, Ralph Fiennes plays essentially a Nazi in both.
That is oddly true.
Yeah. Well, as I said, he absolutely plays a Nazi in Schindler's List, and he kind of basically does in Harry Potter.
I watched...
Played Schindler's List, the video game.
Oh no.
God, that'd be awful.
The most depressing video game ever made. No, I watched The English Patient for the first time ever recently.
What did you think?
I really, really liked it.
My dad loves it.
Oh, no, I think we're buggered.
I didn't think it was amazing, but I liked big parts of it.
Oh!
Oh! The sky!
You got butt shot! Christ.
I hate that encounter.
But yeah, no, there's some good stuff in it. The line my dad always quotes is, "Why, when we're at war, does it suddenly matter terribly where we're all from?" And I like how it does deal with that, but it's also a very pretentious film.
it's very high melodrama.
Exactly.
But I do like that about it, and also it was just incredible that Ray Fiennes was once like leading man, good looking. Because I always think of him as like the Nazi, as Lord Voldemort.
No, that's a relatively recent thing. And fucking M in Bond now.
Yeah,
which is bizarre.
I cannot stand The English Patient.
Yeah,
it's a very long movie. I think
and too pretentious for you, I think, right?
And it's all about poor mediocre white man. I have enough of that, thank you.
Yeah, but there's some themes I'm always surprised that you don't like with it. The whole stuff about, like, why, again, like, the kind of why national identity suddenly starts to matter in wartime and stuff like that. That's the thing, like...
It's because he might be a spy.
Yeah, I know, but it's... But the point is the idea of, like, before there's no problem with someone being international, but then that becomes an issue. I figured someone like you might like that. Someone who I say, if you ever want a nice long answer, sit down and ask the sprite where she's from. It's complicated, to say the least. It's like...
I think it's definitely worth a watch, even if you end up not liking it. Because it's a massive cultural thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. I don't think I'd watch it again because it was huge and slow.
It's a very long movie. It's not well paced.
No.
I mean, there's a bit of a lull in gameplay here, viewership, because I'm waiting for these three guys to not
be together.
Be right together.
Each other, yeah.
But you notice how, like...
You don't currently have any method of, like, distracting them, do you?
No, not that I know of. I've just got my gadgets. Eventually I do get a gadget that can draw one away, and that's great.
Please tell me you don't flash them.
No,
it's it's bat cock room.
No, although weird that you say that. Like, it does rely on their collars. The thing that eventually you get that. But I need them to.
Are the collars then a standard thing throughout the game, kind of following this?
Yeah, because it makes the stealth encounters more difficult, and it also means that I can use this particular gadget when I get it. I think it creates like an irritation with their collar, and they've got to go towards the source of the irritation.
Right. Okay.
But I need them to fan out a lot more before I can.
You can get that top one.
I'm waiting until there's a bit more distance because the guy right below him. There we go. If we smash into him like this, there we go. There we go. Right. Batman away!
Dead dude number uno.
Ooh, crunch.
That really sounded like...
Man down, let's do a 4-hour film called The English Patient about it.
That sounded like DiMaggio. What's his name? Bender.
I mean, he might be.
He might be, but I don't think... He doesn't do a lot of game stuff. He mostly does animation.
He was Marcus Phoenix in
yeah,
Gears of War,
true.
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Stay silent and I'll be back.
He's got to be one of the most prolific of the voice actors.
I saw there was a big dispute recently about whether they would get him back for the...
Yeah, they didn't invite him back for Futurama originally.
Well, they say that I think it was something to do with pay, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like they are all now back, which is good. Well, Cash is...
Yeah, since we're now in another reboot of Futurama. Well, not reboot, but like, it keeps being cancelled and then coming back. To the point where I've lost track of it almost.
I'm not complaining about there being more Futurama in the world.
Yeah, I'd agree mostly, yeah.
Does she keep her records there?
I guess. She was pretty desperate to get in there. Her office is over there.
How long ago was this? I need to find her notes before Joker gets his hands on them.
20 minutes, maybe more. What's so important about the notes?
Sorry, John DiMaggio. I think I said Joe DiMaggio, who I believe is a baseballer.
Baseball player.
Yeah. Baseballer. Christ.
He's a baseballer.
well, basketballer is a thing, and footballer. It's weird that baseballer isn't.
Yeah, baseballer.
That's because baseballer sounds like he does something.
Yeah, it does actually.
Maybe he does do something.
Involving a base and some bowling.
Wasn't there like... Isn't there a show called Ballers?
That sounds about right.
Oh, we've got these things to look forward to, the electrified plates. There is a riddle to be solved.
Well, he apparently played everyone in Batman the Brave and the Bold.
I hear good things about the Brave and the Bold. I think it is...
Well, he voiced Aquaman, Gorilla Grodd, Faceless Hunter, Black Adam, Black Mask, Toyman, Vigilante, Hellgramite, Mr. Freeze, and Captain Boomerang.
So basically all of the villains.
Yeah, it sounds like it, doesn't it?
The part of the villains will be played by John DiMaggio.
Yeah.
How do I get in there?
That's some nice diverse villains right there.
It's like, what's his name?
He does have a really good voice.
There's a Disney actor who's in a lot of stuff called Jim Cummings, who literally, like, it's something like 98% of his voice credits are additional voices. He voices, for example, his most famous one, it might be the third hyena, Ed, in The Lion King. The one that just kind of goes...
I think, to be fair, like, if you've really got like an excellent voice cast right there.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, between James Earl Jones and Jeremy Irons, you know, though he also, this guy Jim Cummings also is the singing voice for part of Jeremy Irons in Be Prepared.
Oh,
because Jeremy Irons fucked up his voice box singing Be Prepared and just was basically told you can't sing for the next 2 years, and they were like, oh well, we need to finish this. So there's a point when if you listen for it, you can hear because his voice suddenly kind of changes like towards the end because they didn't have a recording of Jeremy Irons for it. In fairness,
it's quite a shouty song, which
yeah,
that will fuck up your vocal cords.
And he's not a singer, Jeremy Irons, very clearly.
He's
not bad, but
he's doing a decent job,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's no
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor for you're not a singer, but holy shit, that's a pretty good voice.
See also the work of Jared Butler.
Yeah, well, right, isn't Jared Butler? He was like theatre trained, like as a singer, was he not? I remember something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
Because his voice is surprisingly good in Phantom of the Opera. Yeah.